Hello creation, I hope you're well. Just want to have a little talk about school. I'm just going to read you this out anyway. What a truly amazing experience life is. By chance was it, you say, that I just happened to appear upon that day? What an unbelievable coincidence that I should be born at that time, at that very moment when the stars were aligned, so specific were the details of my very being: eye colour, hair colour, skin colour, in a world where I would have to learn to read, write, not before learning to eat, drink, sleep, stand, walk and talk, all in such a short space of what I was educated to understand as time. Learning, recognising those whom I depended on for my very survival. If you want food as a baby, just cry. That'll do it, hopefully. I mean, we may have to have us backsides checked first to see if we needed cleaning up and changing into a fresh nappy, if you were lucky enough to wear a nappy. In hard times, not everyone could afford nappies. Or if you were in a disadvantaged country, you may have just had to do your best. Then we learn to intermingle, taken to an establishment where we are told what to believe, how to act, and we learn of the social structure, pecking order. Know thy place or get the lug boxed. Maybe even a fat lip or a blackened eye, for not conforming and not falling into line. And in those days, that really was the teacher dishing it out. A lifelong mate of mine took matters into his own hands. At 14 years old, they'd been playing cricket in the sports hall. In those days, some teachers used to turn the waters on freezing cold while you were in there as a bit of a punishment for the ones who were the last ones out. One in particular, on the wall where the showers were, at the bottom of it, there was a gap, just enough for a child to crawl under. And he used to turn the water on freezing, and he used to make you do that if you were the last one in. Yeah, it was it wasn't very nice. Anyway, my friend took matters into his own hands, and he went over where the teacher was laughing at him, and he went over and he picked the cricket bat up and he hit the teacher over the head. Not that I advocate his chosen reaction, but would again like to reiterate that every action has a reaction, has a consequence. A sequence of events leading to several consequences for both teacher and pupil. Those consequences being the expelling from school of a pupil and a rather large lump on the head of a teacher who, in my opinion, in his bullyish ways, took amusement in seeing those that he had a duty of care to look after and oversee, that no harm, be that physical, mental or emotional, came to. This teacher, along with all teachers, was and are entrusted by all parents and guardians alike who place their children within these enslavements. I'm sorry, did I say enslavement? I meant to say establishments. It will be interesting to see or hear the results of the National Curriculum Review that shall be revealed this year. I wonder if the encouragement of meditation and spiritual awareness through this current ascension evolution, I wonder if that will be included. Aye. There's God, I mean, it's such a different time now as to when we were at school. In those days, it was, I saw, one of the teachers picked a lad up and threw him out the window. Get out, threw him out the window. There was one instance when, and I could have been paralysed by this. There was a teacher, I was sat right down at the front, and this particular teacher was sat there, was doing his marking or whatever it was he was doing his work. And I think when we were in a different classroom, he used to go into the back room and you could smell the smoke. He'd be having himself a cigarette. And maybe it's because we were in a different class and he couldn't get his fix, maybe, I don't know. But it was when computer studies had just come out at school. And the book, crikey, it must have been about, I don't know, maybe, how thick was it? It was huge. It was probably about 6 or 8 inch thick was this book. It was big and it was heavy. It was a big book. And there was something I didn't understand, so instead of asking the teacher, I just whispered something to was my neighbour actually, he lived next door to me. And the teacher picked this book up and he hit me with all his might right on top of my head. And it sent a shock wave right down my spine, right down my spinal cord. That could have paralysed me for life. Joking apart, with the velocity that he hit me, he'd have been in jail these days. This is how things have changed, isn't it? I understand now that teachers can't even point at, to scold. So it's gone from one extreme to the other. And it's all about finding balance, isn't it? It's all about finding balance. But that's life. It's finding the balance so you can live a happy life. Now, who knows what's the right way to go? Yes, there's got to be structures. Yes, there's got to be in this world where it's built round money, profit. And schools really are there to mould you into being ready to go out into the world so you can earn and hopefully succeed and pay your taxes. That's my opinion. I have a right to express it. There are powers out there that don't want people to know about spirituality. They don't want you to know that you can, in essence, manifest your own reality. It's been subdued for many. It's been there was a culling of that knowledge, but that knowledge is coming back now big time, and it's all over the internet. And that's the wonderful thing about the internet, is anything that you want to know you can find, so which is the way forward? Do we have to change the curriculum, which is being reviewed? And is it being reviewed in the right way? Because you are more than just flesh and blood. There is so much more to learn. Do your research. Listen to your gut instinct. That's it for now. Take care.